feel cozy, yeah. Can you hold up? Don't need no coffee yet. Got no makeup.
Good day to all of us, especially those viewers. Magandang araw po sa ating lahat. This time, I'm going to discuss about solving quadratic equations by subtracting square root. Quadratic equation that is written in the form x squared equals k can be solved by using subtracting square root. The first condition, if k is greater than 0, then the solutions are two real roots. Number 2, if k is equal to 0, then x equals 0. Number 3, if k is less than 0, then there is no real root or the roots are imaginary. Okay, let us have an example in the first condition. First condition example. X squared equals 4. So we can now apply subtracting square root if the quadratic is in this form. Okay, how we are going to apply the extracting square root? Simply extract both sides square root of the equation. Just extract square root both sides of the equation. And then do not forget, when you extract square root here, we should put positive and negative sign. Okay? Now, then after subtracting square root, you're going to cancel out the exponent 2 here and the radical symbol. So what will be, what is left? X na lang. So ibig sabihin, pag ang square root na symbol, tapos yung radicand, ang tawag dito radicand. Pag exponent ng radicand is 2, then lalagyan natin ng, kunin nyo natin yung square root niya, maka-cancel po. So, this is the answer. Square root of x squared is x. Okay? Then, the square root of 4 is 2. Therefore, there are two solutions. X equals positive 2 and x equals negative 2. So we have two real roots. Next example. If we have x squared equals 16. Same process lang po. Mag-subtract ka ng square root both sides. Subtract square root both sides. Huwag kalimutang maglagay ng positive at negative sa right side. Then, cancel out x equals. Copy positive, negative. What's square root of 16? 4. Square root of 16 is 4. So there are two solutions. X equals 4 and x equals negative 4. These are the solutions, which is two real roots if k is greater than 0. Okay, another example. If we have 2x squared equals 18. Okay. Dito, hindi po directly maglalagay ng square root both sides. Hindi pwedeng mag-subtract ka ng square root both sides dito. Bakit? Kasi, mayroon pa tayong coefficient na more than 1. So, or not equal to 1. So, pag yung coefficient dito ni x squared is not equal to 1, ang gagawin natin is, we are going to cancel out this. Hindi po basta-basta ka i-cancel out to. ang gagawin natin is mag-divide both sides by 2. 2. It becomes x squared because the result here is 2 divided 2 is 1. And then 9. Subtract square root both sides. Do not forget to write the positive negative. So as I said, this will be cancelled out. X equals positive negative 3 because square root of 9 is 3. So therefore, x equals 3 and x equals negative 3. This is now the values of x. Now, I'm going to clarify more. If you are confused with the word roots, sa ating pong lingwahe, ang roots ay ugat, no? Mga ugat. Pero in math, roots are numbers. Roots are real numbers. Roots are the values of the unknown variable to make the equation true. Okay? So, now this is not the value of the roots of x squared equals 4. And here, this is the roots of x squared equals 16. Here, the roots of these two x squared equals 18 are 3 and negative 3. Okay? More example. X squared minus 9, and let's say that's x squared minus 25 equals 0. Now, in this case, in this example, we cannot directly apply subtracting square root. Why? Because we need to make the equation in this form, x squared equals k. Okay? So, ang gagawin natin dito, si negative 25, dapat matransfer siya sa kabilang side ng equal sign. So, ang ideya natin dito is the word transpose. Paano ba mag-transpose? Kung ita-transpose natin si negative 25 sa right side, yung sign ni 25 ay mag-change. So, ibig sabihin, pag negative dito, i-transpose natin sa kabilang sa equal sign, magiging positive. So, ano ba ang maiiwan? Yung x squared. X squared equals positive 25. That's the idea, is the idea of transpose. This is now the equation. So, pwede na natin i-apply yung subtracting square root. Kasi, ganito na po yung form niya. So, extract both sides, square root, don't forget to write the positive negative here beside the square root symbol. Then again, this is x. Then positive negative 5. Because square root of 25 is 5. So these are the two roots. X equals positive 5. X equals negative 5. This is now the solution to real roots. Okay? Have another example. X squared minus 18 equals 0. So again, ang ideya dapat ganito ang form. So again, let us apply the idea of transpose. Let us transpose negative 18 to the right side of the equal sign. X squared equals 18. Okay? Then apply subtracting square root both sides. Positive, negative. Cancel. Square root of 18. 18 is not a perfect square number. So in this topic, we should know what are perfect numbers. Ang tanong, paano ba natin malalaman kung ang number ay isang perfect square number? Simple lang po. Kung si 1, i-multiply natin yung 1, ang result ay 1. Si 2, multiplied by 2 is equal to 4. 3, multiplied by 3, the result is 9. 4, multiplied by 4, the result is 16. 5, multiplied by 5, the result is 25. Ang product po ay tinatawag na perfect square numbers. So, ibig sabihin, pag ang isang number ibig sabihin, if 1 is multiplied by itself, the result or the product is a perfect square number. So, dito, maiisip natin na si 18 ay hindi is perfect square number. Okay? So, paano ba to isosolve kung hindi siya perfect square number? I-factor out natin si 18. Now, one of the factors is a perfect square number. So, dito, magiging 9 times 2. Bakit 9 times 2? Because 9 is a perfect square number, which is 3 times 3. So, pagkatapos niyan, get the square root of 9. Square root of 9 is 3. Si 2 ay hindi perfect square number. At wala na pong factor si 2 except itself and the number 1. So, just remain 2 inside the radical symbol. So, this is now the answer. X equals positive 3 square root of 2 and x equals negative 3 square root of 2. So, importante po dito, alam natin kung ano ang mga perfect square numbers. Kung hindi nyo pa alam kung ano yung perfect square numbers, ito po yung gawin nyo. 1 times 1 equals 1, 2 times 2 equals 4, 3 times 3 equals 9, 4 times 4 equals 16, 5 times 5 equals 25, and so on. Ang product po dito ay tinatawag na perfect square numbers. Next condition po natin ay if k is equal to 0. Simple lang po, no? If k is equal to 0, then x equals 0. So here, x squared equals 0. Mag-extract tayo ng square root both sides. Okay. Cancel out, x equals 0. Wala na pong positive negative kasi si 0 ay hindi negative at hindi rin positive. So yun lang po if k is equal to 0. The third condition that we have, if k is less than 0, then the solutions or roots are not real. Not real roots, or the roots are imaginary. Okay, example. Here, n squared plus 16 equals 0. So we are going to find the value of n to make it equal to 0. Now, as I said earlier, we cannot apply directly subtracting square root both sides if the equation is not in this form. We are going to transpose positive 16 to the right side. Ang maiiwan po ay si n squared equals negative 16. Yan po. Then, pwede na pong i-apply yung subtracting square root. So, subtract square root both sides. Lagyan po na ng positive, negative. Here, ma-cancel out. And equals positive, negative. Ano pong sagot dito? Yes, we know that the roots are not real. But if we are going to simplify this one, this will be equal to 16 times negative 1, right? 16 times negative 1. Because 16 times negative 1 is negative 16. So, di-factor lang po natin. Okay. What is square root of 16? 4, because 16 is a perfect square number. Now, we have negative 1. Square root of negative 1 is not 1. Not negative 1. Okay. Paano po natin ito isi-simplify? In algebra, I squared is equal to negative 1. So, pwede pa natin masimplify ito. N equals positive negative 4 times the square root of I squared. Kumbaga, nag-substitute lang po tayo dito. No? Si negative I substituted by I squared because I squared is equal to negative 1. So, what will happen with this? As I said, if the exponent of the radicand is equal to the index, may number po to dito. May tawag ito is index. Pag walang number, automatic the index is 2. So, yung exponent na 2 at index na 2 ay pariha, ika-cancel out po, di ba? So, n equals positive negative 4i. Therefore, the values of n are positive 4i and the negative 4i. Ibig sabihin ng I is an imaginary number or not real number. So, ito po yung values ni n. Kung ganito po yung equation. Okay. I have here more complicated example. Now, find the roots of x minus 1 quantity squared equals 36. Okay? How we are going to solve this one? By using subtracting square root. Solution. X minus 1 quantity squared equals 36. So, gagawin natin dito is mag-extract ng square root both sides. Extract square root both sides equals, do not forget to put positive negative. As I said, pag ang exponent ni radicand ay pareha ni index, ika-cancel out yung exponent at saka si radical sign. So what will be the result? Here, x minus 1 na lang po. Then, positive, negative. Square root of 36 is 6 because 36 is a perfect square number. Now, dalawa po ang solutions natin dito. X minus 1 equals 6 and here, x minus 1 equals negative 6. Ito po yung gagawin natin if we encounter like this. This is now the solution. So, here, since we are solving for the value of x, kailangan matanggal si negative 1 dito. So, ang gagawin natin, i-transpose natin si negative 1. So, ang maiwan dito si x na lang. Lagi na lang si x ang naiiwan dito. No? So, 6 copy 6 plus 1. Okay? Sir, bakit nagiging plus 1 yan? Ibig sabihin dito, nag-transpose po tayo. Negative 1 to the right side of the equal sign. So, pag mag-transpose, again, as I said, ma-change yung sign niya. Okay? What is 6 plus 1? The result is 7. So this is now one of the values of x. Here, same process. Si x talaga ang maiiwan dito. No? Negative 6 magiging plus 1. X equals, now, here, negative 6 plus 1. The two integers having different signs. So the rules of adding of integers, if the two integers have different signs, we are going to subtract the two integers. So here, 6 minus 1 is 5. What is the sign of the bigger integer? Here, the bigger integer is 6. And what is the sign of 6? Negative 1. Negative. So the sign of 6 is negative. Yeah, negative. Therefore, the roots of these equations are 7 and negative 5. Let us have a generalization. If we solve for quadratic equation by extracting square root, yung equation ay in this form. X squared equals k. Diba? Nung unang video about the topics in grade 9, the first topic in grade 9, which is illustrating quadratic equation, ipinakita ko doon na ang standard form ay x squared plus bx plus c equals 0. This is the standard form of quadratic equation. Now, yung extracting square root is applicable, or kumbaga, masosolve natin yung quadratic equation in a very short time if our b here is equal to 0. So as you observe, in our example, ibabalik ko lang, x squared, let's say minus 4 equals 0. This is written in standard form, right? What is the value of a? The value of a is 1. What is the value of b? 0. What is the value of c? Negative 4. So, madali po ang pag-solve ng quadratic equation using extracting square root if b is equal to 0. The question is, what if, sir, b is not equal to 0? What if b is equal to 1? Negative 1. 2, negative 2. Okay. And that is served as our next topic. Because there are 4 methods in solving quadratic equations. This is the first method in solving quadratic equation, which is extracting square root. So yun lang po yung topic natin ngayon. And I hope kung bago ka pa lang sa aking channel, huwag kalimutang mag-subscribe and click the notification bell para ma-update po kayo sa mga bagong videos na aking upload sa aking channel. Especially those students. Thanks for watching and hi to my new friends out there. I hope you learned something in my discussion. Thank you and